3, 4, 5, 7, 8, so on and so forth. So Richie's place. The others don't automatically promote. The gap is just left empty. You can't exactly see the number 2 there of Scott Moyer, qualified in 7th. He can't squeeze up to take 6 and get an extra bike length advantage. So that's why there's you could almost look at it to say a staggered start. The gap is on. We're back under starters' orders. It'll be a super start here on the Brian FM feature start. When the lights go out, we go racing. Better start this time from Damon Damo. Damon Reeves off the line. That's much better to get out of there. And Al Hoogie a little bit sluggish to get off the line there. He might have been the fastest man through practice and qualifying, but he doesn't get the superb start away that he might have wanted to otherwise. So we look out for the Super Honda of Team Reeves Racing to get away, and a superb start there. Or one of those front runners just going out wide there a little bit and gets gobbled up by the next 2 to get him behind him. So a little bit of a disappointment as we come down into ICOM for the first time. A beautiful clean sweep around there for our front riding crew as we head down towards Euromark, and this fantastic hairpin come into the corner, and it's Demon breaking all round as we go through. There it is with Mighty Reeves to get through there. Demon Damo, fantastic start, and a Spider, a great run. Look at those first 2 start to make a break. The others trying to do something about it, but the first 2 have gone.
Well, I think Jake Lewis was up there in 2nd place. I think that's him on the blue Yamaha with the red helmet there, and he run wide at the hairpin, so that's put him down to 5th place. So they're all fighting. Remember, people have actually lost a bit of practice time here, and you rule with NZSBK is 10 days before each meeting you're not allowed at this track. And then, of course, yesterday, the Friday session was rain, a lot of rain for the first 4 or 5 hours, and so they're still getting to grips with some sort of things and still working it out. And I guess that some people have got ruffled feathers about that restart and that sort of thing. So it's a long championship. We've got 3 races this weekend, including the New Zealand GP tomorrow, and 3 races next weekend at Levels in Timaru or near Timaru, and 3 races up at Hampton Downs and 3 at Taupo for the final. So it's a long championship, but right now we're starting to sort things out, and it is Rees followed by Alistair Hugenboos and Rees. And then I think it's Dan Metham there in 4th place. We've got 2 screens running here. That's good.
Slow.
We're now.
Chopper.
It's Chopper, yes, it's Chopper. And Scotty Moyer, the fastest man on the track, although that is the first lap. So if you come back from the 3rd row, you're already up to maybe 60 or 70 k's an hour when you go across the start-finish line. So that can mix with things a little bit. Scotty's capable of the fastest lap here, definitely. A strong, hard charger, but we go over the hairpin, Neil Ritchie.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful run through from Demon Damo. Has that master nicely. Look at that from Al Hoogie and behind him. Long time, the number 43. Now he's picked the number 1, deservedly. That's the number he inherited after last year's default championship, taking nothing away from Al. He was certainly the fastest, and that final that he put on for that TT title was brilliant. By the way, in the end, he only won 2 of the 9 races that we had last year, but he won the 3 that counted. He won the GP here at the end of round number 1. He won the TT at the end of round number 3 to give him the part of the overall by a whole 2 points over Scott Moyer, who had just lost the title the year before by 1 point. So you see the number 2 on the bike out there for Scott Moyer. Well, he saved money because he hasn't had to change his number for the last 2 years, but when you lose a title by 2 points and 1 point over the last 2 years, there certainly must be an air of frustration. He's been one of the changes, gone to Dunlop as well. That's significant. Started on Bridgestones last year, changed back to Pirellis, which he'd been on the year before, but he's now gone to Dunlop, and he's loving the new tyre. The comment that we're getting is it doesn't take the same amount of time to bed in. You can get the tyre working for you earlier in his racing, so there's something for the Dunlop. There we go, Spider.
Oh, wow, look at that. Dan Metham through there. In fact, it's Scotty Moyer went through from 3rd into 4th, and I said last lap it might be a fluke that he got the fastest lap. It's not a fluke. 1:29.784. It was just the dynamics of the start, and if you're starting off the 3rd row, 2nd row, whatever. Scotty Moyer, mate, he's a man on a mission there, and I think he currently is sitting there in 4th place on the track across the line in 3rd. So it is Mitchell Rees that's got ahead of him, Jake Lewis in 5th place, Sloane Frost, Daniel Metham, David Hall, Jaden Hassan, and Aaron Scott, the first of our Superbike B class there, Neil Ritchie.
Yeah, great to watch as we head towards Fulton Hogan. This is a great part of the circuit because you can't quite see in the camera angle that, in fact, there's a little bit of a kink to the left before they come right again, and that's around through Fulton Hogan. Then they come to this beautiful Christchurch Casino Carousel. Love this part of the track because you're coming into it with a slight hint to the left, then it gets a little bit tighter, then it opens up and then comes round to the right, and then it sort of opens up at the end, a bit like a question mark, and then it comes round on itself to come into the Southern Salvage S's. This is a moving track, and as the press conference from last night has talked about, the both technical track of anywhere in New Zealand, and the one that they love, and particularly the North Islanders love coming down there. They can never get too much of beautiful Mike Pero Motorsport Park. We are racing for NZSBK in the #1 Premier Class of Superbike racing with the hero himself, Mr. Damon Rees, out there to put the pressure on the field, along with the #1, the man who won it all here last year. Let's see what he can do from this point. This is a great charge on here. These are the top two pre-race favourites. They're making a bit of a mark on the field at the moment. Look at that from Demon Damo. He goes wide out there because he doesn't want to let Alistair get the slipstream on him. So, in fact, he makes the straight a big gentle S because he comes into it shallow by going to the left. He then goes over to the right. He comes back in. Why? Because he doesn't want Al Hoogie to get straighter behind him to get the slipstream, because if you've got the speed here at the end of the Mike Pero super straight, you can then get the momentum and ricochet and go past him. So he doesn't want to give that advantage at all. So literally moving over the track, not quite a zigzag, but you get the idea. A big long S-bend going up this beautiful straight here at Mike Pero Spider.
We're chasing lap records here. The lap record is a 2020. It was set by Damon Rees. He's out there at the moment at 129.189. We've got a 129.784. We went under lap record in qualifying in that, but I get the picture that the sun's come out. There was cloudy earlier on. The sun's come out and it's warmed the track up to that point where it is a bit slippery. It's just, you know, that's what it is, but it is what it is, and it doesn't matter. We've got a whole weekend's racing here. We've got 7 laps to go of 10 today, and we've got to think a 10 lapper and then maybe a 25 for the New Zealand Grand Prix. So right now, Damon Rees out in the front on the Honda, and then we're followed by Alistair Hugenboos. It's Mitchell Rees in 3rd place, and then 4th is Scotty Boyer. Jake Lewis wears the red helmet on the other Yamaha there in 5th place, and then behind them it's Sloan Chopper Frost on the 33 machine, on the TSS Red Baron machine. Hope Stuart Waddrell's either here or watching. Happy birthday, Stuart, today.
Oh, nice.
He'll be, so yeah, he'll eat a bit of cake. I've seen he's eat a bit of cake beforehand, but yeah, that is Sloan Frost, and I think that might be Dan Meadham on the 34 machine. He'll be a little bit disappointed with this because he was leading that last race when it was red flag, Neil Ritchie.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what as well, I've been making a comment about those two breaking away, and that's what they appeared to do earlier on the race, and I don't know whether they've been slowing each other up, or I think for that slipstreaming thing that Damon's been trying to out-psych Al and behind him, what that has done is actually slowed up the pace. Those guys are not as quick as they were through practice or qualifying, and you don't necessarily want to be, because after all you've got to put a big 10-lapper together, but it's the fact that Mitch Rees has seen his opportunity, and now look at him on the tail, right on the tail there of Al Hoogie, the champion. So it's the salami, the Yamaha and the salami of the two Hondas. Man, that's smack bang in the middle when you look across them at right angles like that. That's the perfect perspective. Same gap between first and second, second back to third. Great to watch. And with Scotty Moy in there on those Dunlop tyre flyings, Diamond Design supported Team Honda, to my apologies, Team Suzuki motorcycle, he has put in exceptional form to keep up with those guys. So really the 4 that have made the cut, but the 3 of the tight ones, there it is. It's Al Hoogie with something to gain and something to lose. What he's got to gain is trying to get past Demon Damo. He almost does. No, not quite. But on the other hand, he could be just as fatal to go back to 3rd place and let Mighty Mitch. I tell you what, if he opens the door like that and does a fraction of an overshoot as they come towards the A on Dipper Spider, he's going to find Mitch Rees will go and make it a Rees Quinella. So close.
Oh, they're all going to do that. And already Alistair Hugenboos leads the championship because he's got 1 point, being the fastest qualifier. They're coming onto the front straight. We've got 6 laps to go. We'll be half race distance as they go across the start-finish line. We're into the 29s. There's 3 riders into the 29s. We've got Mitch Rees, Scotty Moyer, and also the lead bike as well, Damon Rees as well. So the screen changes. The fastest lap still by 29.784 is Scotty Moyer, and that was set on, I think, lap 2 of 5. So it is Rees, Hugenboos, and Mitch Rees in 3rd. Scotty Moyer, Jake Lewis, Sloan Frost, Daniel Meadow, David Hall, Jaden Hassan, Aaron Scott, the top 10, followed by number 19 on the Kawasaki ZX10, David Sharp. This class brought to you by Avon City Motorcycles, BMW Motorrad, and Ride with Tech Air. They've got the advert in the thing. They've also got, come and see the Tech Air display on display in store or with us at the Ruapuna round of the NZSBK. So Superbike and Superbike B out on the track at the moment. Good warm temperature there. I didn't get to track temperature. We will try and update you on that as we see Lee Munro going through on the 121 machine there at the tail end of the field. Warren Hudson out there, Heath Boddicker, Jaden Carrick. Jaden Carrick set some fastest laps at Wanganui, and he's back in 12th place, so probably struggling. Something's going on here. Jaden Carrick, a very hard charger from many years, run 600s and back into the Superbikes. I think it's his first visit at Ruapuna for probably 4 or 5 years, so I expect better out of him. Hopefully the team can work out what's going on, and he'll be a threat somewhere along the weekend, Neil Ritchie.
All right, here we go. Looking forward, coming out of the Avon City Ford corner and down here through the Brian FM start in the Mike Perro Super Straight, and again with that Demon line taken by Damon Rees. Love that. So what you're seeing, folks, is that it's a straight, but he's making it two gentle curves, one to the left and the other one over to the right, as he doesn't want the slipstream from Al Hoogie. If Al can get that advantage and slingshot past him, watch how they're racing. Al's throwing everything at him, in particular through the Southern Salvage S's. He just loves that. He has a go at throwing up on the inside, because once he could get in front, I think you'll find he could probably make an advantage and maybe move away. But Demon Damo, having that, he's on the older model bike sitting in there, of course, didn't have the new bike, wasn't going to be racing it. He only made the decision during this week, and the decision actually wasn't made for him or by him. It was actually made by Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, who said we're going into lockdown and it could be some time. And here's Damon making all the right decisions, thinking of the future of his racing and where he's heading to British Superbikes. But hey, what's that going to look like? If they're still in COVID lockdown, I'm not getting any practice or maybe even the early rounds of racing. I think we'll change our mind and try and get some glory out of New Zealand Championship racing. So a late decision only made on Wednesday of this week. What a call, what a great honour, and neat to have him with us. Mr. Damon Reeves, record pace setter and winner of racing over the last few summers. Did it in the 600 straight on the Superbikes, a winner. Won the, I think he won the opening race or the second race here last year as well in that debut campaign. But here he is at the moment in front of the 1NZ of Al Hoogie. It is Honda to Yamaha, and the Superbike battle's going on. Slight gap back there as we had earlier to mighty Mitch Reeves, and then looking out to Scotty Moyer. Scotty keeping up with Mitch there at the moment. That'll be a real confidence booster for him at this stage. And I'm keen to watch those Dunlop tyres. Are they going to hang with the Pirellis in the later part of the race? So when he hears that the tyre is good in the early part of the race and Scott needs that, it's more the fact will it have the opposite effect, and will he lose something later in the race? We're about to find out. Around the two-thirds of the mark to our race at the moment, Spider, and all on really with two pairs for our battle 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, you were talking earlier on about Alistair Hoogenboozem. He's sitting there waiting, and he's possibly going to get through. The lap times prove it now. 1:29.783, fastest man on the track, Alistair Hoogenboozem. As I said that, he seemed to do something there that lost him possibly 60 or 70 metres. You can see them coming up to the hairpin. It's closing up there. But something went on there that lost him that, so he's got to pull in that, reel in that bike of Damon Rees there, and we're seeing Scotty Moyer hunt down Mitch Rees there in 4th and 3rd place there. Lonely right back there, another 100 metres to Jake Lewis, the Canterbury man, on the Yamaha. Yeah, YZF 1000. Is it YZF? Can't remember the words for that. Yeah, this YZF 1000. There's so many little terms for those Yamahas, but great to have the Blue Crew team on, and great to have as well Jake Lewis there, the local Canterbury man, running the number 29. But the gap between first and second has opened up. The gap last lap, we don't have the gaps on it. Oh, yes, it is. There it is, 0.250, quarter of a second. I'm going to say that's opened up. And I tell you what, now Alistair Hoogenboozem has got Mitchell Rees hunting him down. He's sort of broken away a bit from Scotty Moyer and closing the gap in there, so he could smell what's going on. He could smell that that bike slowing. Maybe it's just a localised problem, maybe it's just something on, or the tyre degradation or whatever. But here we have another Rees hunting down Alistair Hoogenboozem. In fact, Alistair Hoogenboozem puts his hand up. He puts his hand up.
No.
Something wrong with that machine, and the other riders just swooped past him. So something going on there. So drama already. We had Richie Dibbon already out with a crash. He is okay. He's got up. He was winded a bit, but he's got up and gone away. And now Alistair Hoogenboozem has a machine failure and still circulating around with his hand up there on the back straight. So this is now the Rees as they come across a lapper there into the hairpin. So the lapper does the right thing, just cruises around there and does his own thing. Don't let the lapper go left or right. They've just got to keep their line, because that's the important thing. So it's now Rees, but there's probably 140, 160 metres between them. And now Scotty Moyer's on the podium in 3rd place. He closes up in behind Mitch Rees there in 3rd and 2nd place as we see them go into the Christchurch Casino carousel here with 2 laps to go.
Wow, what a race is on, and whatever that bad luck is, certainly that's a setback for Al. We were trying to recall last year. We actually think that he had a setback in the first race of last year's championship as well, the one that he went on to win. So let's hope that maybe it's just a repeat of that for whatever it is. Well, we don't hope for anything that's bad luck, but at least the good story was he still was able to come back from that. So the big battle is on at the moment. Look at that now from Demon Damo. He will know that things are much better shape for him, as he's, I'm sure, had a few opportunities to glance over his shoulder and look, hey, there's no number 43, but I tell you what, I've got my mighty brother, big brother Mitch, breathing down on me. Hey, I've got to tell you about these guys. They might have raced on Boxing Day at Wanganui to break lap records. Damon broke the previous lap record first, and brother Mitch took it from him later in the day in the Robert Holden feature almost at the end of the day. So the outright lap record holders, the fastest 2 men ever to go around Cemetery Circuit at Wanganui in 70 years of history. The next day and the day after, they were back with their own Bay of Plenty Motorcycle Club doing what they call Sweet Rider for both the senior and junior events. So they're effectively making sure that the track was clear and doing an up to, oh, here we go. We've got somebody else that's just come back here against the current at the moment. So Dan Medham, former NZ #1 2019 champion, down in pit lane. He is back. But just to finish the re-story, those boys giving back to their Bay of Plenty club, their hearts and their roots where they'd started in motocross and still helping out to ride off-road bikes the day after Wanganui. Great story. Back to you, Spider.
Okay, we're on the final lap of the first race of the New Zealand Superbike Championships 2021, the Christchurch round, the Underground Brown Superbike Championships. Damon Rees leads. He's got a gap of 2.8 seconds, so Mitch is going to have to watch him and just not try and fight back on this. We've got someone sort of incident at the end of the front straight there. I see a bike not crashed, it's slowing right down and possibly pulling on to the inside. So we've got the flashing lights here to warn everyone. The rules are slow down and do not pass in that because you'll be coming across an incident. But the bike looks like it's going off to the grass. I'm going to look back on the track and see the lead bikes there. Neil Ritchie lost those lead bikes.
No, right, just coming out of the A on Dipper, all looking all class there at the moment. If anything, probably a little bit of a breathing space for Mitch Rees. Mighty Scott Moyer not breathing on his tail at the moment. Honda Suzuki as we go for the manufacturers. The awesome, incredible Team Rees Honda Racing out in front. Damon Rees out to lead. Checkered flag in the win. Well done to him with Mighty Mitch brother in second place. There's Scotty Moyer. There's your podium for the first place in the first race of NZSBK 2021 as we look out to the bike fight going on there with the other places. Yes, indeed, the 29. Their famous number is used by Super Dad. He used it well. That's young Jake Lewis. Then we were looking out for the #1, of course, but it's just faded away off the radar, and looking out for the likes of the 34. Well, we know that he's come back in the pit, so the big changes will go on in those in the minor money. Then Spider to look out for those guys because, of course, we've lost both #1 and effectively the 34 of Dan Medham, so we've lost the 2019 champion and the 2020 champion out of the race. Oh, now somebody way over on the far side, that was a limp home as well. Just haven't seen there. We know that Richie's gone from the race. Yes, that in fact is officially a DNS. He did not start this race because he'd crashed in the previous race. So that's now changed things completely. Jaden Asano's brought the M1 Motorsport BMW S1000RR up into 5th place as Sloane Frost then gets the 6th place. Aaron Scott from Superbike B gets up there. Well done to him, and that's partly due to the default of in fact, 3 of our riders. So we're effectively Richie's gone, Al's gone, and Dan's gone as well out of there. But Spider, there's some upsets for a start. It's only race #1.
That's 3 flies in the ointment. Not that I'm calling them flies, but you know what I mean. It's yeah, Damon Rees, okay, the fastest man on the track, a 1:29.783. That won't be. That'll be a little consolation for Alistair Hugenbosen, but it's more important that he lost the opportunity to get 25 points there, which he was well capable of. So yeah, it's a tough day. Don't forget CTAS Live, folks, and they are transmitting live. Get to the track. You can always watch it later because Grant Collingwood and his crew put on the recorded footage which has been watched live. They put it on the same floor, break it down at the races. They put it on YouTube on the CTAS Live channel, so you can watch that in a few times. But if you can't, tell your friends, email them a link or just ring them up and say you've got to get online and watch all this sort of stuff. And all this footage has been captured, particularly tomorrow, for I think a 4-hour program on the Sky Sport, yeah, you know, like when you turn the screen on to Sky Sport, you'll find it, not like previous years where you had to go further into to find out what's going on. So the Honda team running down there, they are running down with the pit stands there because there is 2 Hondas there on the podium. That is Kirsten Sudbury there from Mad Love Media, running around the pits with 2 cameras there. She's one of our official media partners here, along with Mel Smythe, both outstanding photographers. That's not taking anything away from the rest of the crew. They're the ones that are travelling around all around New Zealand to the New Zealand Superbikes. There's many other photographers and reporters and that sort of thing. Don't forget, folks, get down into the food caravans. Peter Pitt, wood-fired pizza, Fritz's Wieners and real fruit ice cream. And the bar is open at the other end of the track with some food in there.
Well, good afternoon and welcome everybody. Here's our podium here at Trackside. First of all to Scotty Moyer. Congratulations, Scott. Is that the kind of start you wanted?
Yeah, perfect. I mean, that first start, you know, we made a change and I was doubting it, thinking, oh man, I got no grip, and I was giving George shit because he suggested it. But I think I just got to manage to get a clear track, no hold-ups in behind the fast boys, and, you know, gone fast as I've been. So, I mean, I got the Dunlops hooking up good today, you know, like for only, what, I've had 4 sessions on them and fast as I've ever been. So, yeah, it's a good start to the campaign.
Well done. Great story to tell as well. We talked to our third place now to our second. A smile on his face as well for a mighty Mitch. No worries about a second place because you know who was first?
Oh, for sure. And a bit of redemption from last year, you know. Same thing, having a battle with our last year and went down. So, no, it's real good to sort of, yeah, the plan was to be on the podium and we're here, so I'm pretty stoked.
All right, the start of the racing, mate. How ferocious is that?
Yeah, no, it's good, actually. Yeah, bit of sleep to begin with there, and the boys come past in that first one, and I was like caught off guard. So, yeah, sort of better in that second one. Made the pass on Jake early, and then yeah, sort of was sticking with the boys to begin with, and then yeah, started struggling a little bit. Just ran wide in a few spots. So, changed some suspension and settings, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow.
Awesome, Mitch. Great to hear. There's a speech of technical excellence with us. Well, this guy's got to be excited. His other option is be home on couch watching us on CTAS Live. Way better to be here, Damo.
Oh, yeah, it's always nice to be racing, you know, and things weren't looking so good in England, and it was like, okay, I might be here in March, so bugger it, let's have a crack. So Dad and Mum said they were willing to help me out, and my brother was willing to give me the spare bike. So we've got just the two, so we just got to keep the bikes rubber down, and yeah, absolutely wrapped. It's such a good result for Honda, good result for the team, and yeah, just stoked to come away with a race win, and yeah, Honda 1-2 always looks good.
All right, that second restart, that was a little bit better. You got to clear a break, but man, you had to work in that first one.
Oh, I had a shocker. I don't think I've ever had such a bad start in my life. That was so bad. So I hadn't practiced the start with this bike, and it's got a different clutch in it. So yeah, it was a good thing that we got that restart. It certainly saved me. I was not going to win that race.
Well done. So here you go. Here's your podium, folks, with Scotty Moyer, with Mitch Rees and Damien Rees. A superb start. Our sponsors on board. We love them to bits. Aon Insurance, along with Pirelli MNZ. Thanks to Mac Media, your digital solutions. And, of course, proud to be live loud with Sky Sport Next, coming at you with more quality coverage. Stay with us. This is NZSBK 2021. We're racing.